Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for the starting 11 prediction for Sunday's derby at Ibrox against Rangers. We come into this one in good form off the back of Thursday's 4-1 win in Stockholm against AIK. We've scored 39 goals in 12 games in all competitions, so we're free flowing going forward. We've just got those slight problems at the back that we need to be really mindful of coming into this game. Thinking back to last season, we had two really disappointing performances at Ibrox. I think we had one shot on target in 180 minutes over the course of the two games. We didn't really show any fight in the games. We never matched the tempo of the home team. We didn't deal with the pressure, and we certainly didn't deal with the atmosphere with having only 700 fans as opposed to 6,000 or 7,000. So those are the things we've really got to change this season. We've got to get into the game, try and get in the front foot and attack Rangers and give them things to think about, because we've seen in the Celtic Park games where we dominated Rangers for large spells, but at Ibrox we really struggled to get into any flow, so we've got to sort that this season. To the team then, in goals, I think we're going to see Fraser Foster come back in. I don't think there's any surprises there. We've seen with him coming in for his debut against Hearts last weekend that Neil Lennon's keen to get him in the team. He wasn't registered in time to play against AIK for the second leg, so I think he's going to come in. Played in these games before, so that should stand him in good stead. On the right back, this is obviously one where we've got some issues. We've seen Moritz Bauer joining a season-long loan from Stoke this week. Christopher Ayer's been deputising there, as we've touched on a lot this season. He went off injured in Stockholm. We've got Hatem El Ahmed. I don't know where his fitness is at. Shout out to the people in the post-match pint who corrected me. I hadn't seen El Ahmed's Instagram correcting the fake Twitter account that said that he was going to be ready this week. It looks like he isn't going to be ready. So if Ayer can recover, Neil Lennon seemed quite positive about his chances in the pre-match press conference yesterday. It's either going to be Ayer or it's going to be a hell of a debut for Moritz Bauer at right back. I'm going to go with Ayer because after listening to Neil Lennon yesterday, I think he is going to be fine. It is something we might need to be mindful of. Maybe we'll start with Ayer and see how it goes. Perhaps that's a risk. I do think Bauer will be on the bench ahead of Ralston, so he will be an option off the bench if Ayer maybe tires late in the game or he needs to manage his injury as we go on. I'm going Ayer at right back. On the centre half, I don't think Beaton is going to play in this one. I don't think it's the ideal game for him at all. Obviously he's become a sort of auxiliary centre back, but while he's done well, it's a totally different kettle of fish to be thrown in at centre half in this game. I think Joseph Simunovic is fine. I think he's going to be back fit. He'll partner Christopher Jullien, who got his first goal in Stockholm during the week. Again, still maybe some things to iron out in his game, but I think he's growing with every game that goes by, and he's getting better and better. Very dominant in the air again on Thursday night in Sweden, so big performance needed from those two in there. And then we're on to left back, where we're still waiting to get another one in, but I think we are going to go with Bolingoli because, as I've said, that's the only option for us just now really. I don't think Johnny Hayes is going to come in. I don't think he's played anywhere near enough football, and again he's out of position, so I'd be much more confident with Bolingoli there for all the criticism he's had than playing Johnny Hayes out of position. So Bolingoli at left back, massive game for him. Played at Ibrox for Rapid Vienna last season. He's going to have to be really careful on the ball, pick his passes well, and really try and get some confidence in the game and start well. Midfield, this is huge in these games. We know it, we see it time and time again. I think last season at Ibrox we really struggled in here. I think Scott Brown is obviously going to start leading the team. Huge in these games before, but last season really struggled. I think Rangers pressed us high up the park last season at Ibrox. We struggled to come to terms with that, struggled to deal with it. So I think Brown has got a massive performance. He's got to have a massive performance in this game. Probably Arfield up against them, trying to close them down. Arfield being the sort of attacking midfielder, winger come attacking midfielder, playing in behind Morelos or Defoe. He's going to put real pressure on Scott Brown. So we've got to deal with the Rangers press. We've got to play through it. And Scott Brown needs to have a massive game, and he's got to take control of the midfield early on, and we've got to get in the front foot. Alongside them, Callum McGregor, again, huge experience in these games in terms of some of the players as we go further up the park, maybe Christie and Johnson, don't have huge experience in these derbies. Callum McGregor's played a right old few now, so he's huge for us. We know that if he can get in the ball as well, he can help us dictate the play and control the game. But again, we've got to win the midfield battle in order for him and Brown to be able to do that. In front of them, Ryan Christie, match winner. I thought he was brilliant in Sweden again on Thursday. Covers every blade of grass. He's tracking back. He's linking up with Edward. He's linking up with Forrest out wide. Just such a threat. He nearly scored for 35 yards the other night. So we know that he's got that in his game. He's scored 7 or 8 goals already this season. So he's huge for us. I think what we could see Neil Lennon do in this game, like we seen against Hearts last week, is bring Encham into the team, because Neil Lennon likes to have more technicians in the team, as we've seen in the Cluj game and Hearts as well. I think he likes having Encham in there, but I really don't want him to do that. I want him to play Christie in his best position, because he can be a match winner for us in there. I think if he brings Encham in, it'll probably be at the expense of Mikey Johnston, and then we'll see Forrest go to the left and Christie go to the right. I think we can really get at the Rangers fullbacks if it's going to be Barisic or Flanagan on the left and Tavernier on the right. We know that he's got some defensive frailties, so I think out wide is massive for us, and I don't think playing Christie on the right hand side gets the best of him. So I hope he's in the 10 on the right hand side. James Forrest, brilliant the other night, absolutely superb, great form he's in. He linked up so well with Edward for the goal. His touch and finish for the goal was top class, really in the peak of his career now, and it'd be great to see him be a match winner for us at Ibrox. He had a few years where he didn't do a great deal against Rangers. I think we've seen him in the past couple of seasons. In the 5-0 League One game at Ibrox, he was fantastic. He got his goal and he got the winner late on in the final Celtic Park derby last season. He's a huge player for us, and he can be a match winner if we can get him isolated against Flanagan or Barisic, whoever it may be. In the form he's in, he can be massive for us. On the left hand side, I'm going to continue with Mikey Johnston, as I just touched on there. I'm not sure Neil Lennon will go with this. He did seem to lavish praise on the whole front four in Stockholm the other night, but I just think he might go with Encham and then shift Christie out to the right hand side and Forrest to the left. But I'm going to put Johnson there. I think he was brilliant the other night, and I think after last season where he played at Ibrox out of position twice, once up front in his own and once at right wing back effectively, I think he's due a game at Ibrox playing in his own position. And again, he can get Tavernier. If we can get him isolated against Tavernier, Tavernier's not the best one-on-one defender in the world. So I think with his trickery and his pace, it can cause Rangers real problems. And in his natural position, he's got all the ability to do that. Up top, it's obviously going to be Odsonne Edouard, who again, his hold-up play was absolutely sublime the other night, bringing so many players into play. As I touched on the post-match pint, like, there's so many times the ball goes up to him and he almost never loses it now. 9 times out of 10 the ball is going up to him and it's sticking, and that'll be huge for us again in this game, because we know that we'll be under pressure. We'll have spells where we'll need to weather a storm, but we've got to get up the park, we've got to be great on the counter attack, and we've got to relieve the pressure when we need to, and he's huge for us in doing that. Linked up brilliantly with Forrest for the goal, the awareness, the presence of mind, and then the ability to dink the assist through for him. Absolutely brilliant. He came off with cramps. We were all a bit worried, me more than most. I thought it was a bit of a needless risk to leave him on that late, but it was just cramps. He's going to be fine. I'm sure they've had him wrapped in cotton wool the past couple of days, and like I say, he's absolutely huge for us. He's the one player in the team who really takes us to another level, because he's brilliant, and the level he's bringing right now is just phenomenal. We've seen him against Rangers before play brilliantly, again like Forrest in that 5-0 game at Celtic Park. He was brilliant obviously in the 3-2 game where we won the league with 10 men. Phenomenal, and in these big games he really relishes them and he brings a high level, and I think on Sunday he is another one who can be a match winner for us. I've used that phrase 3 or 4 times already, and I think going forward we have got 3 or 4 match winners. That's the team I'm going with. In terms of the bench, it'll be interesting to see if Mohamed El Younousi is going to be in the bench. That's a great signing for us. Again, we know it's a loan signing from England, which I'm not a big fan of in terms of long-term strategies, but to get someone with that quality in is a bit of a coup for us. Obviously, Southampton signed him for £16 million last summer. We've seen him come to Celtic Park, score as well for the opposition. Great time at Bow, and I think he's got real quality, so he'll really help us, because that is an area of the team, as I touched on last week, that we need to strengthen sort of on the left hand side. I think he can play for the left hand side and anywhere along the front line, really, from what I've seen of him. So he'll really bolster the squad up there, and great for Johnston to play with him and to learn from him, because El Yunusi 25 now, real high quality player. So I think him and Johnston, obviously Johnston being 19, 20, maybe he's not going to be able to perform consistently for 50 or 60 games a season, so El Yunusi brilliant for us to be able to have that option. It just gives us more quality in the final third, and we've already got bags of that. But as I said, match winners all over the park. Let me know what you think the team will be. Who's starting at right back? What do you think will happen in midfield? Would you have Brown, McGregor and Christie? And obviously on the left hand side, would you continue with Mikey Johnson? Do you think we'll see any surprise debuts in terms of Bawa or maybe El Yunusi? Although I doubt that one. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Chasing down 20,000. Hopefully we can get there as soon as possible, and we'll see you tomorrow after the game for all the full-time reaction. Thank you.